One of the worst places that you can be is that of complete hopelessness, isolation, and worst of all, feeling like it'll never get better at all. Hey everyone, my name's Christian Verstappen, and I have a lot to say about many things. I want to talk about incels. For those that don't know, the term incel is a combination of two words, the word involuntary and the word celibate. Originally, it actually comes from a Canadian woman who was lesbian, probably still is, who founded a website in 1993 called Alana's Involuntary Celibacy Project. Her whole thing was basically kind of the plight of being a lesbian woman who couldn't find a partner. And that is still effectively what it means. A person who can't find a partner. But the term now has a lot darker of a connotation than it did back when it was originally founded. Many mass shootings, for example, have been committed by incels. In fact, it's a pretty common thread to find people who have committed such horrific acts to be those who are just, well, complete losers and social dejects. Definitely something I'll be going into more in depth in the future as well. But we're here to talk about incels specifically. These days, generally speaking, incels refer to, quite frankly and bluntly, men who can't get laid. It does extend further than that to men who can't find relationships in general, but it often extends to men hating themselves and others, blaming women for their shortcomings, their lack of romantic or sexual prospects, so on and so forth. It's very easy for people to make fun of them. And the internet definitely has no shortage of that. The typical nice guy, the man who complains that they just can't get a date, or something to that effect. Yeah, these are easy targets. Of course they would be. But these are the kids who were bullied in class that, when pushed to the point, snap. And all they really needed was some compassion. This is a topic that hits very close to home to me, because while I've never been an incel, I've absolutely known people who would consider themselves such, and I know the pain very much of feeling like you are completely undesired and have no hope for finding future partners. And that hopelessness can bring people to do really horrible things. People who are incels and define themselves as such have taken on this identity that they are losers, they are societal rejects, and maybe there are. But there's one thing that they're definitely wrong about, and if you consider yourself one while watching this, I have some hope for you. The reality is, as bleak and dark as it seems, it isn't. A lot of inceldom and the black pill communities really kind of focus on this idea that you're just born a certain way, you're developed to be a certain way, and you can't change it, no matter what you do. There's no point in doing things like trying to improve your appearance, trying to make more money, trying to be a better person, be more knowledgeable, be anything, because everything is hopeless. In fact, certain communities that have these kind of mindsets online, on websites like Reddit, for example, will go so far as to make fun of people who try to kind of steer them in the right direction. I don't ever believe people are truly too far gone. I believe there's always hope for people to turn around and change their life. But they have to want to. The reality is, for a lot of people who are incels, quite frankly, they don't want to change their life. Now, I talked about this a little bit with the negative aspects of Red Pill as well, but there are groups of these people, and they do often intertwine, where they don't want help. They want a scapegoat. They want to blame women for their problems. They want to blame society for their problems. They want to blame anyone and everyone and everything except for themselves. Now, there's something to be said as well about the fact how oftentimes Red Pill and Incel forums and such have been used to bring people over to really kind of far-right ideologies as well. Because when you have these people that are at a place where they essentially hate themselves and everyone around them, what are they going to do? Where are they going to go? Somebody comes along and says, yeah, you know, your life does suck. And it's their fault. What are you going to do? You're going to lash out. You're going to be so susceptible and easy to mold, which is perfect for the ones that want to do that for you. But it doesn't have to be that way. To those that are not incels watching this, have compassion for these people. They are broken, they are scared, they are tired, they are confused, they are lonely. They're very misguided. And truthfully, they do need compassion and understanding. And for those that identify as incels, know that that is an identity that you've put on yourself. One that you can shake off just as easily as you put on. One that you can change because you have control over your own destiny. There are going to be things about yourself that you're never going to change. You're never going to change, say for example, how tall you are. You're not. To a certain extent, you're not going to change things like your skin color. You can tan, use self-tanner, spray tan, whitening creams. They do have those as well if you're darker and want lighter skin. You can do these kind of things. You can get your teeth whitened, you can dye your hair, and yes, these are all things that I've done. I'm speaking from experience. But there are always going to be characteristics of yourself that you cannot change. That doesn't mean it's hopeless. There's a lot of power in the idea of realizing and accepting what you can't change, but changing what you can. I know it's kind of a meme. The idea that, oh, just make your bed, just clean your room, just take a shower, and then everything will just be perfect. Obviously, that isn't how it works. But what you do when you start doing these things is you start building positive habits. I can tell you from experience how depressed I've felt just laying in bed all day and not doing anything. But making the actual effort to get up, to get dressed, to take care of myself. to change my diet and start eating in a way that's much healthier. Personally, I have been doing a low carb, high protein diet for a long while, and it's been helping a lot. As well as finally going to the gym for the first time in my life, really taking care, I mean, really taking care of my appearance. Implementing aspects from Red Pill, as I talked about before, and leaving the negative stuff behind. There is a better way. There is hope. And I know that to a lot of people, you're a punching bag. You're someone to be kicked around, not respected, completely made fun of. And you know, no matter how kind someone tries to be, no matter how good a dog might be raised at one point, you abuse it enough, it's going to turn on you. People often create these monsters that incels turn into, and then they wonder, how did they become that? There are famous examples of this, and I don't want to mention their names because I don't want to give them the type of clout that they wanted and they got to an extent. But the people that go on mass rampages because they're just complete losers want to go out with a bang. They want to be remembered. And I don't want to give them that satisfaction. If you want to find out about these specific stories, you're more than welcome to look it up on your own, but I'm not going to be giving them any attention here. I do, however, really want to speak to those of you that are in this dark place. I want you to know that there is hope. You can take things about yourself that you don't like, and you can change them. And the things that you do like, you can improve. And the things that you don't like, that you can't change, you can learn to accept and truly love yourself. I know it's hard. I know it can be immensely difficult. But most people are kind and loving. If you do have a friend or someone that you can talk to, please talk to someone. If you don't, and you can't afford therapy, please do. But even if you just want to do something like start a discussion in these comments about what you're going through, whatever helps. But what you need to do, and I do mean need to, is get out of this mindset that it's hopeless. You can turn your life around, but only you can turn your life around. And I hope that you do. And again, to those that are watching this, who you yourselves are not incels, I'm sure there are other things that you do struggle with. You can empathize with these people. Even if you're somebody who is, as they refer to, a total Chad or Stacy, I'm sure there's other things that you struggle with. And you wouldn't want people discounting your plight. Don't discount theirs. Help them where you can, even if that help is just being kind and not necessarily offering platitudes like, oh, there's someone for everyone, just be yourself, you'll be okay. But just genuine compassion. If you don't know what they're going through, say that. Say, listen, I'm sorry. I legitimately do not understand what you're going through specifically. but I know what it's like to feel unwanted. I know what it's like to not have what you desire, and it seems like everybody else around you does. Most people can empathize with that in some way. And even if not, just don't be rude to these people. They're human beings, just like you and me. Yes, it's easy to make fun of them, but that doesn't mean we should. I truly believe that through discussion and understanding, and peace and love and empathy, we can resolve all of the world's issues. We can at least start small, individually, with people like this. And again, to those of you who do consider yourselves incels, stop calling yourself that. You're volcels. You're voluntarily celibate because you're not doing what you can to get yourself to be where you want to be. And I don't say that to chide you. I say that to inspire you. You can become who you want to be. But whining and blaming others for it, your misfortunes, is not going to get you anywhere closer. So, take your life into your own hands. Become who you want to be. Don't let other people make you feel awful. And don't take your aggression or anything else out on other people, or even yourself for that matter. Use what you have, your disdain for your current life, as power and encouragement to improve yourself. That's what I did. That's what I'm still doing every day. Hell, if I can do it, you can too. As always, though, these are just my thoughts. Let me know what yours are in the comments down below. Follow me on social media for more. Please, please be kind to each other in these comments. I know this is a sore spot for a lot of people on both sides of this. Please be kind and understanding. Subscribe and ring the bell to stay up to date. Leave a like if you like, and if not, I hope you find something to do like. Later, guys. Peace and love.